Welcome back to another episode of TVGP's We Roguelike It. This time we're playing Slice and Dice for our brand new game. I'm your host, Boston, and playing this on the personal computer, joined as always by Moonbeer.
Howdy. Phone. I'm not going to tell you what my phone is. I don't want nobody hacking into my phone. Android device.
That's right.
There we go.
Android mobile computing device.
Yes.
As I said, we're playing Slice and Dice, which turns out to be a dice-based combat, turn-based thing, but each side of the die has equipment or attacks or different things on it.
So it doesn't roll. It doesn't roll numbers. It rolls actions.
Yes, that's a good way of putting it.
And each of the sides has a specific action.
Right.
And each party member that you have has a specific die. So it's not a case of you roll 6 die and then you choose the actions. It's like, no, this die is for this character, this die is for this character, this is for this character, and then you produce actions based on the face of the die that faces upwards.
It's such a cool idea, and I think it works out so well because it's really interesting because you're not trying to get a specific number, and I think that's what makes me feel better. It's sort of like, my mage rolled their die, and then it only came up with, I would only get 1 mana. I can do better than that. I'm going to roll it again. 1 mana. I can do better than that. 1 mana, crap.
Red cross.
yeah, or like the blank side, and it's like, oh, curses. That feels really good of this kind of like risk reward of how greedy are you going to be, or how desperate are you to keep re-rolling to try and get the thing that's going to save your party member from getting killed in this fight. That feels really, really, really good.
We should also talk about how the fact that this seems to, when did this release, Boston, please?
Actually, I don't know. Let me look.
I asked for a very specific reason.
Okay. It is on itch.io. If you want to get it, it's on tan.itch.io, TANN .itch.io. This was released on June 16th, 2021.
Okay, so it definitely has taken inspiration from Into the Breach, and where the fact that your opponents also roll die, but their actions are viewable to you at all times.
That's a good point.
It does a very good job of visualizing in a very simple way what is going to happen where. Like the fact that it's got yellow pips showing incoming damage, I think is a fantastic little touch. So like you can click on an enemy, it'll show you what their action is, what their move does, what it's going to do, and who they're targeting.
Yep.
But at like a glance level, you can straight see who's going to get hit the most, who is going. It even gives you a little skull to let you know if someone's going to die at the end of that round.
Yep. And I especially like being able to see who the enemies are going to attack, because there's a lot of like, boy, this character is going to get just destroyed this turn. What is happening to them? Oh, 2 zombies are attacking them this turn. Okay, well, wait, if I pick these couple of things and I apply these spells, I can actually take out one of these zombies outright, and maybe if I get a little lucky, I can take out both of them and avoid all of that damage overall. And I think that, combined with you being able to undo, I think, every move you've made that turn, so you can kind of try and then rewind it all and be like, nope, I can do better. Like, even if you're at the very end of your turn, you can kind of roll back and say like, nope, wait, I need to try that again. That was a bad that was a bad one.
Yep, I believe you can, undo the entire set. Do you have a favorite spell so far?
There's one. What was it? There was one good healing spell that I got that cost 3 mana, and it healed, it was everybody for 1, but every time you use it in a battle, it decreases its cost all the way down to 1. So
I don't know about. I have one called Recovery, which it's 3 for every party member heals 1, but I don't know about that reduced cost part.
Yeah, it's so the interesting thing is, When you finish some battles, it will either give you a treasure essentially, and you can pick from one to potentially four treasures that they offer you, or you can just say, "Give me X number of Y tier of item." And then
Hmm.
the other thing you can get is a an upgrade for your one of your character classes, and they usually give you two options. So like, oh, your thief can turn into this, and your healer can turn into this. So you get to choose.
Yes.
Um, I think that one is a mage. Uh, it's either a mage upgrade or it's a treasure you can pick up. And it doesn't sound very good because it's like, why would I want a healing spell that costs 3 and doesn't do that much? But then pretty quickly you're like, oh, if I invest into that, you can heal a lot per turn by just dumping a ton of mana into that spell back to back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the class differences so far. Like ever,
Mm-hmm.
I will admit I want to replace my thief so bad. I do not like the thief.
Thief is.
Uh,
I feel like every time I play the thief, I'm like, it starts out fine, and then every time I upgrade the thief, I'm like, man, this thief is way worse. Man, like when am I going to get to the end of this tree where like, oh, the fourth upgrade is going to be really great? I have no idea. It doesn't feel really that great. Um, I had to laugh playing this game though because my very first run was the typical roguelike lucky run. I just did a classic easy run and I got all the way to the final boss and beat the final boss, but then unfortunately
mhm.
got taken out by the boss's minions. Like as soon as I took the big boss out, the minions didn't escape or die or anything, and I just got overrun. There was like 3 of them, and I didn't have enough stuff to take them out. So I was so close to winning my very first run.
Yeah, I currently playing it. I can't remember. I don't actually know if I'm on easy or hard or not.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I got worked over by a bunch of boars before I started to understand how the game plays.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Um, and getting used to reading the attacks that the enemies do. I like the fact that they use definitions straight off the bat. Like one, I can't remember what it's called. Where it has definitions for a move. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, this is like a sweep or whatever, and it hits people above and below your target.
Right.
And then
Yep.
it's like descend, and it hits people below the one you're targeting. And
Right.
I'm assuming that means there's an ascend, and it hits people above the people you're targeting.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like the fact that it has terms that sticks to them, and those are universal across the attacks or the spells or the moves, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
because it's nice too because those definitions or verbs or whatever you want to call them, they don't just apply to the enemies; they apply to you as well. So if you see the icon for ascend or exhaust or vampire or any of that stuff, that applies to
Hmm.
everybody across the entire game. And it's interesting, kind of finding out uh, some of the modifiers that enemies have, like, oh, when this enemy dies, it hits the units above and below it for 1 damage.
Hmm.
Or here's this stone, like this walking stone guy. Every time you hit him, it only does 1 damage, no matter how much damage you're doing to it. So it has 5 health.
Yeah.
You have to hit it 5 times to get its health all the way down.
I like the
That
troll that had a regenerative one too. So
Oh
like he
my
would
god,
always
yeah.
regenerate one health at
Hmm.
the end of every turn.
Yep. Those are really good ones where it's like, well, I'm just gonna hit him with poison. I'll
Yep.
beat out the regen by hitting him with some poison. Um, I was actually really pleasantly surprised with the tutorial, because
It's very simple, but also very. It's like it's a minimalistic tutorial that I've seen so far.
mm-hmm,
Like it's just like, yeah, just do this a couple of times. You get it. This is
yep,
what it does.
and it's a lot of like the tutorial is gonna pop up at the top of the screen, and it'll be like, oh, just attack twice in this turn. It's like, great, okay. Undo once and then undo 3 times in a row. It's like, oh yeah, okay, cool. It's like
Mhm.
every couple of turns it'll give you a new tutorial and
Like the
kind of
first time I got equipment, it was like hold the equipment to see what it does, and then you
yeah.
press and. In my case, I press and hold it because I'm playing on a touchscreen, so I press and hold,
Mm,
and then it's like, okay, this is what it does. Now you know what it does, so you can drag and drop
right.
it to wherever you need to on whoever you need to.
Yeah, nice part about on PC, it's just click and hold the right mouse button, which
Hmm.
feels pretty natural. But like by the time that the tutorial was over, it was maybe 10 tutorial, no more than 15. By the end, I was
Hmm.
sort of like, yeah, okay, yeah, I kind of feel like I'm ready to play. It seems like there's way more modes than just classic because there's kind of like demo and classic at the very beginning.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of ready. I feel like I'm equipped to play this game. We've played, Lord knows, we played probably about a dozen roguelikes at this point where they're like, tutorial complete, you're ready to go. And I was like, I don't even know how to
Everything is
move.
terrible.
Yeah, like I don't even know how to move my character. What are you talking about? I'm ready to go. Like, come on, Dungeon of the Endless. I'm not ready for anything. Um,
Hmm.
but this definitely felt way better. I was having a blast with this playing it this week. I'm playing it a lot on my laptop because it does not need anything powerful to
No,
run
and it's
this
very
game.
simple. It's like very simplistic art style too. Like I like the
Hmm.
fact that the run is you going down a road that changes how it looks as it goes,
Yep.
kind of thing.
Yep.
And like it's pixel art for the characters, but it's not like terrible or simple pixel art. It's actually pretty solid.
Hmm. Yeah, and the sound effects are pretty good, and it famously has no music. In the last patch notes, it was like 30 different things, and one of them was still no music. It's like, okay, sure, great.
Hey, guess what that means? That means I
Mm,
can listen to podcasts while I play.
exactly. It's so interesting because I feel like they know exactly their market. Of like, if you want people to play your game a lot, you don't need them every time you fire up the game. Slice and dice, like none of that. It's like, no, I'm already listening to a 5 hour podcast here. Let me just roll some
Yeah,
dice,
I'm
please.
listening to Waypoint from 2019. Thank you very much, which
Yeah,
talks about a game that's connected to a different game that we're currently playing.
that's right. That's right. Um, yeah, I don't know what else to add about Slice and Dice here on week one, but I'm really having a blast with it. Been playing a lot of really great stuff this week that has really captured my attention, and the fact that
Hmm.
I'm not putting Slice and Dice aside to play that other stuff, I think speaks pretty highly of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's surprisingly like sticking pretty well so far. Like I didn't have a whole bunch of time to play it, unfortunately, but like it's one of those things where it's like it's good that like I can just sit down, I can just do a quick like 10, 15 minutes and just do a couple of dice rolls, see how it goes. Did you did you click the save button on the menu at any point?
No, I don't know if my version has a save button.
So at the top of the mobile version, it's got the page, which is the glossary, which I haven't even gone into or anything yet.
Hmm.
It's got something on the right, and on the left, it's got like the cog, the settings symbol.
Oh, sure.
So I hit the settings symbol. I was like, okay, so I'm going to close this because I got to do the show and so on and so forth. And at the very bottom of the settings menu, it's got quit and save. And I tapped on the save button. It's like the game saves after every single action. This button does nothing.
Great. I love it.
I was like, okay, okay.
Perfect.
Thanks for throwing shade at me for
Yeah,
trying to save my game. I'm
that's
sorry.
really great. But now I feel way better about like I can close this whenever I want. Well, I'm all good.
Exactly.
That's great. I love it. Yeah, go check out Slice and Dice. As we said, it's available on itch.io and Android. It's super cheap, especially for what you're getting here. And I've already played
Mhm.
probably too much of it this week, which is really great. It's not on iPhone, probably for my best interests here. Otherwise, I'd be getting a lot less sleep. But probably listening to more podcasts, which I guess would be good too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. All right, well, that's week one of Slice and Dice. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. We'll see you all next run. Bye.
Bye.